Tune in to the Entrepreneur Life Show with your host, Rose of McDonald Bookkeeping Services and Shamara Walker of SWHR Consulting. We bring real issues and resources to business owners and entrepreneurs, local and celebrity guests sharing their journey into entrepreneurship. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Hey there, hey, what's up? Welcome
Hello, everybody.
Welcome, our listeners. We are back to another day in the life of an entrepreneur where we stream simultaneously on several different podcasts, on social media, Facebook, and YouTube. So be sure you subscribe.
Over here.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel. And so we'd like to say we share great guests with you that will share their journey into entrepreneurship so you can get to connect with them, ask questions, and maybe use these resources for your day-to-day life. So we would first like to start off by saying thank you to our sponsor, Marketing Out the Box. Marketing Out the Box Media. So if you want to get your business right and you want to become visible and sustainable, check out Sean Maddox with marketingoutthebox.com. And I am your host, Rose from McDonald Bookkeeping Services. And I am
Hello, everyone. And I am Shamara, the co-host with SWHR Consulting. And we are super, super duper excited to have our guest on the show today. He is Leon. I know you guys know who he is, and we're super excited to have him on the show. So Leon is an actor, producer, musician, singer, Grammy-nominated individual. He, you guys know who he is. You know, he's done so many different things. He's been on TV and film. So too much to account for. Cool Runnings, The 5 Heartbeats,
Stay Back,
Little Richard, and so many amazing entertaining genres. So we are so excited to have him be on the show today. And he's going to tell you all about him, what he's doing now, what's up and coming in his world, and just to get to know him a little bit more. So welcome.
You're bringing him on the show. Woo!
Hey.
Hi, thank you so much for being here. We so appreciate you. We so appreciate you accepting our offer to come on the show. Okay. So
I'm happy to be here.
Oh, I'm so nervous. Okay. Well, I got my hair done yesterday just to make sure the show we got our hair done.
Well, I appreciate that. I really do.
Okay, so I would like to start off by asking. So, of course, I didn't really realize that actually you've always sang, or in a band. So when I was kind of researching you, and you had a band, and so I thought, how did you? I want to get into the acting, but how did the music start? Because of singing, because you have played some great characters after some great icons. Mm-hmm. So was that something you'd always wanted to do?
It's something that kind of gravitated to me when I was very young. I snuck into an Elvis Presley movie, and I was like, wow, this dude, man, he gets to sing, he gets to dance, he gets to kiss the pretty ladies. That's the kind of job I want to do. So I kind of always had that in me. And the first production I ever did was a rock and roll revival when I was in grade. And so I guess it just kind of followed me around as far as singing is concerned. When I became started becoming a well-known actor, I would start host a lot of music festivals, and definitely the biggest reggae festivals, like Reggae Sunsplash and Reggae
Yeah.
Sting in Japan and every place. And so, I would know a lot of artists, and backstage we'd be singing a cappella, and and whatever. And they would encourage me. They would be like, you should sing. You should. And you don't have to. You don't need to. But you're good enough, and you want to. You should do it. So I wound up joining this band called the Young Lions in New York, which is a bunch of musicians that got together that played like bands like Sting and UB40 and
Oh, wow. Yeah.
and Bruce Springsteen. And we just started, playing around. We started getting popular, but I wanted to do original music. And they were doing, covers. And I was like,
Right.
I want to do my own thing. So, yeah. And then, we started playing my band, The Peoples. And then, tell people I had to pull a David Ruffin on them.
Right.
and call the band Leon and the Peoples because we got better shows that way.
So, I mean, so when you first, I'd say, got the part, or as like just in, the 5 Heartbeats and Temptation, I mean, all these singing parts, were you excited about that because that was really one of your passions, singing? Did you feel that you had to, was it difficult because you're really playing the character of some amazing icons? I would have wasn't really nervous. Like, could you, even though you could sing, those are major people, those are major characters.
It's different when you're in it. You have to realize, for one, this is what I trained to do. So, I'm well prepared and equipped to take on these roles, because this is it's like a runner who trains to be in the Olympics, and when he gets, when that gun goes off, it's like, this is what it's all about. So,
right, this is what you trained for. This is what you prepared for.
Right. So this is where I'm supposed to be, as far as I'm concerned. So, for me, it becomes more of a challenge of, especially if you play someone who actually walked and talked on this earth. You owe it to the people that know him, to his family, to do him right, to at least capture his essence of who that person was. And so for me, that's where I would feel the pressure. I feel that pressure of, portraying a role and bringing this person to life in a way that, didn't dishonor them.
So could you tell us a little bit about your career in terms of acting? Like, how did you actually get started? Like, where did that, how did you become who you are today?
Do you remember your first casting call? Let's say that.
Yeah, I remember all those things, but it really started for me. I was an everything basketball player out of New York, and so I for some reason, I only took scholarship offers from California, and I went to Loyola Marymount University.
Oh, yeah.
And a graduate film student, in the spring, just chased me down and begged me to be in this movie, and I was just like, well, why don't you get somebody in the theater arts department? I'm sure they would love to be. And he was like, no, I've been watching you. I have a good eye. There's something about you. You're going to be in the movies one day, and I want to be the first person to do it. So,
wow.
I try anything once if it's safe. And so, I did it, and I had an experience that we all had. I was very comfortable when I was on set. I felt like, like this is where I was supposed to be. So kind of changed my major, became a theater arts major, and started studying.
So what was the first role that you actually got as an actor? Do you remember?
Well, it's 2-part. I mean, the first role I actually ever got as that I was casted in, that I went through the traditional process, would be an ABC afternoon special. Yeah, with Ralph Macchio.
Oh, wow. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that whole casting situation. And then I think but the first time I ever got into a film, was able to get my SAG card and everything, I was this guy I knew, Corky Ford, actually was a working actor, one of the few Black working actors around. He came by this photography studio, and we got to become friendly. And he said that he wanted me to we wanted to meet his agent one day, whatever, and so on. So, but anyway, he was doing this musical, this high school basketball musical for PBS, and he came to me and said they cast this actor that to play basketball, and he can't play a lick of basketball. So they're looking for somebody. And he says, I know. I know. I said, I told him I got the perfect guy. So you got to come meet the producers like right away. So I went down there. I talked to the producers. They were like, okay, cool. Well, listen, I hope you don't mind, but we don't want to take a chance because we took a chance last time with the kids. So could you shoot around a little bit? So I went and, shot around, hit a couple of jump shots. And then I threw the ball off the backboard and I caught it behind my head and dunked it. They just ran out and gave me a contract right there. so my basketball came in handy in getting my career started.
That's awesome.
I want to talk about Cool Runnings. Your accent.
That was my question, but go ahead.
So one was, okay, your accent. Did you have to really practice that? And did you really bobsled? Did you really do the stunt part, or were there people who did that? Did you really have to participate?
Okay, so
I would say before you answer that question, I just wanted to let you know that that's the first introduction to you for me, because I am actually from the Caribbean, from the islands. And so when we had an opportunity to see somebody from the island, representing islanders, and it was just very inspirational for me, and just knowing that there's a way out, right? And so it's really nice to just be able to meet you, to be honest. So yeah, please tell us more.
Okay. Well, I'm glad that it had that kind of influence on you. I really am. I mean, every time when you make a movie, you hope that it resonates with people, that it touches someone in a certain way. And that movie in particular touched people in so many ways. I'll answer your question in a second, but just to go off of what she said, Dougie Doug, who played Sank in the movie with me, we were inducted into the Canadian Sports Hall of Fame. And they actually did a screening at a theater of Cool Runnings. They were doing 2 screenings of it. And the lines were around the block. Now, these are people who have seen the movie so many times, have it in their home, and they're still lining up to see this movie. Yes. And people are telling stories. One girl, how she moved to Calgary because, from Vienna, because she saw the movie and wanted to be, in Calgary because where Cool Runnings was. One kid, his father died, and he watched Cool Runnings for 30 straight days.
Oh, wow.
To get over it. And it was just so many amazing stories. It was amazing. So okay, as far as the accent's concerned, the accent was really hard because it wasn't a true Jamaican accent.
Right.
What happened is that it's a Disney movie, so I was speaking as authentic as possible. Luckily, Malik Yoba's character, Yul Brenner, was able to do that because he was from the streets. And Junior Bevel was, an upscale youth, so he got away with it. But I kept getting notes from the studio saying, "Listen, you can't talk that way. We don't understand you. They're not going to understand you." He says they actually got a note one time because I was the lead character. We want you to sound like a black Aladdin.
What?
And I'm like,
that's a different accent than a Jamaican accent.
Excuse me, I know that. But Aladdin was a big hit for them. So they're like, okay, how can we weave this into this Jamaican accent?
Right.
So,
how disrespectful. They won't even talk like that. And when they're supposed to talk like this, they have the 2 different accents now.
Yes, okay. Exactly. So that's the whole thing, and they're like, we're not going to have subtitles. I'm telling you. So I'm like, okay.
That's pretty cool.
There was a dialect coach on set all the time to make sure that we were speaking in a way in which, Americans and others would understand us.
Would understand. Completely understand.
Yeah. So I wanted to talk about the music where Leon and the Peoples. And so I noticed that you do quite a bit of festivals and stuff, and maybe a lot of people are like, I didn't know that. And so is it something that had just really been your passion more than anything, you think? And acting just came to you, but singing is your thing?
Um, I mean, I think I love them equally. I mean, I love to do them all together simultaneously, actually. But yeah, I mean, it's just different. When I'm acting, which I love to do, I am breathing life into a character that a writer wrote
Right.
and telling a story. I'm a storyteller. And so, but when I'm singing with my band, well, then those I'm singing songs that I want to sing. These are my songs. That's what I want to present. So it's different, it's just an all around thing. I'm playing a character and I'm also myself when I'm on stage. Depending on what I mean, I enjoy them both actually.
So I don't know. I'm assuming this may or may not have happened, but I've heard this before. Is you can play a role, and people like us, I call us civilians because we're not actors. They might take the role that if you were just acting, like you really did, in Waiting to Exhale, you're not weren't the nicest guy. So do you find that people on the street sometimes they'll think, look, it was just a character and give you a hard time?
Oh yeah, I mean, there's people that they think the characters that I play are real people.
Yeah.
And sometimes mad at me or have an opinion about me. And to be honest with you, I'm flattered by it. I mean, because if they think so much of my performance that they think that I'm real, I'm like, okay, I'm sorry, I didn't really do that to her. My real name is Leon, not Russell. Thank you.
So I'd like to know if you have any particular movie that you say was closest to your heart that resembles more like you that you play a character.
No, not really. I mean, maybe this movie called The Price of Kissing.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, I didn't know about that until I started researching you, so I had to go and look at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, playing a bouncer in a club who really wants to be a reggae singer, and and having unconventional relationships, and yeah, that's me.
It seems like you resonate with the Caribbean culture quite a lot.
Well, I lived in Jamaica about 3 to 4 months out of the year for like 10 years straight.
Really?
Yeah, so
Tell us all about that experience.
that's how they found me for Cool Runnings, because when they went to Jamaica, everybody was saying Leon, Leon, Leon.
It would be great to have another one come back, Cool Runnings, to see where they're at, and maybe they're like have kids or something, or they're going to pick up kids from the island. That would be really, I mean, has that been ever a thought? Maybe
Yeah, listen, there should have been a Cool Runnings 2 and 3 already, because every Olympics we should add another Cool Runnings. So
yeah, I agree.
You have to realize the catalyst of that movie was Dawn Steele, the great female executive, and she passed away. And so she had a great deal of ownership of the movie, and so they never really followed up and did another, like, look at Mighty Ducks. Mighty Ducks is like Mighty Ducks 5.
Yes.
Not as Mighty Ducks the series.
Right.
Yeah. So but you also know that we don't even need to go there for any other kind of reasons for that.
So with your music, so where does your inspiration come from? Like when you're with your band, and are you writing it all yourself? And like Love is a Beautiful.
Yeah, me and my writing.
Yeah, like Love is a Beautiful Thing. Like, is that something that you wrote yourself, or because typically a lot of people have ghostwriters too. So
no, there's no ghostwriters here. And Love is a Beautiful Thing. Yeah, that's that's the type of music that I write. So that's probably right in my sphere of the type of music that I write. But I write all type of things, all type of music, depending on what I'm feeling, and depends on the theme of the record. I mean, this last record was "Love Is a Beautiful Thing," so all the songs on there were some aspects of love, whether good or bad, or so it just depends. So it's all a story at the end of the day.
Do you feel like your fans that, really know you as an actor really embrace you as a singer as well? Do they, or do they feel like, hey, you should just focus on this one thing or the other?
No, I mean, I think that my fans of my acting are very welcoming of my singing. I mean, the only time they may not is if it's because they didn't know.
Right.
But once they find out, it's like, even when I've been on tour, I've been on several tours with an artist named Barris Hammond, and sometimes I make a surprise appearance on tour, and they want to know, and people at first when I come out, and then when they see it's me, they just cameras everywhere, they're going nuts, they're going crazy, and I think I have a bit of an advantage because I think that if you were to think of actors that you'd want to go see sing or that could sing, I think I'd probably be kind of at the top of the list or somewhere near there. So I think people are kind of welcoming that. Like they want to see me sing because of my performance in movies. Yeah, so.
Because you're multi-talented.
So is there anything that now that I think, you probably made it, I mean, you're amazing. So is there anything where you would look back and think that you would have done differently now, knowing what you know now? Because I know that your daughter's beautiful. I mean, her parents are beautiful. And so she could model, she could act. I mean, she obviously gets her talent from her mom and her dad. So is there anything that now you look and say, now if I were her then, what I would do differently, getting into the industry, or tell anybody in general?
Well, of course. I mean, I think there's that expression, hindsight is a bitch. So you always can look back and think about decisions that were made at the time, and they were made for good reasons at the time. But those those reasons no longer exist. So sometimes the decisions you made, you might make all over again, but you wish that the circumstances were different.
Right.
And and also the industry is so much different now than when I first started. So yeah, of course there'd be things I do differently. I mean, because I often said, I was just talking to a friend of mine, another actor, and I was just saying, man, I'd love to start over again. Oh man, it's like I'd have a field day because there's so many more opportunities.
Do you feel that you've ever been typecast? Because I hear that can happen, that you really have to be particular of your roles, that people don't get you stuck in one genre.
Right.
Yeah, I think that if you look at my resume, I have a pretty wide variety of roles.
Right.
The thing is that I can change a lot of different things on me. My face is kind of a hard one. So you have to think that people have to imagine you, unless you're making your own movie or own TV show.
Yeah.
People have to imagine you being that person, and so if you have you have to have some way of showing them, either through your past work or an audition or anything else that you might do. But at the end of the day, if someone deems me to look a certain way, it's going to be hard for them not to see me look that way. And you just have to show them. But I think I've been a lot of different things. I've been villainous, and I've been lover boy. I've been a whole bunch of different things, and I'm going to be a whole bunch of different things even more. So.
Is there a character you'd like to play that you haven't played yet?
Sure, lots of them. Lots of them.
So with you just doing so many different things, acting, you're a singer. I mean, that obviously is also part of like your entrepreneurship journey, right? Through your career. And so what piece of advice would you give to someone that is in your industry, as they try to get to the level that you are on, in terms of understanding the business side of getting to that point? Because of course anyone can act, anyone can sing, but
Right.
there's also that, that part of being able to maintain you as a business, because you're selling yourself, in order to continue to grow.
Well, the most important thing is to realize that this is a business, and although
Right.
it is the arts, and is what you should concentrate on, because if you don't, if you're not able to grasp the art of it, you're probably not going to have a career. And so, you maintain doing the work that you can to be the best you can, but realize that everything is a stepping stone. Everything is, a building to the next thing so that you can sustain yourself. And there's going to be peaks and valleys, and you're going to have to sustain them if you want to, make this your career. If you want to be able to do this, for decades and decades. And as you change, as your face change, as the industry changes, the one thing hopefully will be consistent will be
Right.
you working.
Right.
So I think that it's very important to know the business and know that you're getting into a business. But I think
Right.
at first, when you're first getting into this business, you need to be an artist. You need to be good, because that's what they're looking for. And once you get your foot in the door and you're actually working, then look at it as a business. But remember, being good is like pretty much your best way of getting in, I think.
So did you find, are you still having to continually like educate yourself and taking like, singing and acting classes or any type of mentorship because I would think that as times change and actors always having to rebrand itself and change, you know what I'm saying? So I would assume that, that you're always like doing something different to better your skills, better what you have. People see you differently.
I think it's very important. I think you get to the point where I'm at, and some of my peers are where I get to sharpen my skills and work on things, and also get paid very well at the same time.
Right. Yeah.
Because what I prefer to do is go back and do theater. So,
Oh, well, yeah.
yeah. So and luckily enough, I'm a draw in the theater world, so I get paid to actually keep sharp. So I feel blessed that that's something I can do. And plus, I love the stage. I mean, if it was up to me, I'd be on stage all the time.
And of course, the theater is much harder because I think you get one try, when you're on stage, that's it. Not like acting. Let's do that again.
Right.
Yeah, but that's the way it's supposed to be. That's the way you learn. When you're learning acting, you're studying acting. There's no take two, because you're learning to be on stage.
Right.
You're learning to break down your character and who your character is on this journey. And you go on each night, and each night is different. You may say a line different. Your co-stars may act different, which makes it different from night to night, and you find different things. And each audience is different. Some audiences are really live and some aren't. It's just each night is a different night, and yet you're telling the same story, but it's resonating a different way each night, and so it's a beautiful thing.
So, as you were getting your career started, was there any particular actor or singer that kind of inspired you to continue to, move forward and, reach out and catch your dreams as you continue to, grow in your career?
Do you mean someone that I actually had a
Yeah, like,
a relationship with?
not necessarily new, but had the opportunity to watch and learn from them, and then use that as a way to kind of hone in on your skill set, and then maybe being able to meet them today, or as when you became famous.
No, I can't say there is. I mean, I'd say in the singing world, it would probably be Barris Hammond. Because I've been around him a lot in the recording studio. He produced my first single. He has a record that he produced and wrote on his latest album. And I've been around him so much, and he's such a perfectionist, and he's so great. and his fan base is ridiculous. And so watching him every night is like being in school, you know. Same thing with my friends, Morgan Heritage. You know, I'm just, you know, just being around them, watching their professionalism on stage is, you know, is always something to learn from.
So when you were singing in like the Temptations and, you know, other, you know, movies that you've been in, were you able to at any time, because you obviously can sing, this is what you don't just sing for the movies, you sing as part of your, because that's what you do, entertainment, that's part of what you do.
Mm-hmm.
Were you able to like do your own thing? Because I know, of course, they, you know, I'm sure you have the writers, this is how they want it, and, you know, the producers, how they want it to look. But because this is you, and I'm sure you can feel it, you got to like ad lib a bit, like kind of do your own thing on the stage while being on camera, or was it strictly, no, this is how we want it to look, how we want it to be?
Oh, you mean the choreography?
Yeah, yeah.
That and just the singing piece and everything, just to be able to express your true self through the character.
Okay, so as far as the choreography is concerned, you know, all the things you see the Temptations do and sing, you know, that was you know, that was what the Temptations did. So we were basically learning the steps of the Temptations. For me individually, you know, I got to do my own thing, but my own thing was, you know, from my studying of David Ruffin, you know, hand gestures and things like that. And then as you see, one of my favorite scenes is when we appear on the Ed Sullivan Show, singing "My Girl."
Oh,
Yes.
You know, all those moves like that. We slide and do the slide back and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, like that. You know, that's them. But it was fly though.
How difficult was it, or is it, when you're having to learn somebody else's character, and like you were saying, just hand gestures, body movements, facial expression? I mean, was that difficult? Did it take a long time to get that? Just because you, like you said earlier, you really want to do that part justice.
Well, yeah. I mean, it just depends on how you approach your roles. You know, like for the Temptations, for example, I'm a bit of a method actor when I have an opportunity to be. So, you know, I was in character the entire time. You know, all through rehearsals into the end of the movie. You know, I mean, I only answered to David. I never answered to Lee. That's just the way it was. And so you know, for me, I had all the TVs in my house and everything. It was just old footage of David Ruffin playing all the time.
Wow.
You know, so every time I saw him, so I was just saying, it was just, you know, it just became second nature to me into what, you know, some of the things he would do, and then I would improvise and do it in my own style, of course. Yeah, that's it. You know, I think that if you, in acting and you're telling a story, if you can convince the audience that you are that person from the very first time they see you, you can take them anywhere. You know, they go with you anywhere once they believe you're that character. And so that's what I really concentrate when I do my work, is that the first time you see me, you have no doubt who I am. You know, same thing happens when I was preparing for Cool Runnings. When I was preparing for Cool Runnings, I had pictures of, you know, all these sprinters and all around my house and stuff like that, because I wanted to make sure that my body looked like their body, that you didn't doubt when you saw me that I was an Olympic sprinter.
Right. Right.
You know, and the thing is, now I think it's harder than it used to be. You know, if you look at old movies, you'll look at, you know, some of our great stars, you know, would play different roles, play athletic roles like that. And you can clearly see they didn't have an athletic body.
Right.
But now with the internet and social media and stuff,
Right.
everyone, including your grandmother, knows what a basketball player looks
Yeah,
like.
right.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? It's like you just can't get out there anymore and just like do something. You know, it's like you gotta really be that person, or have that, or at least have that skill, because people know what it looks like, you know? I mean, so yeah, you got to put the work in.
So how hard is it to break character? Because I've heard, you know, like stories where actors become those characters and then have psychological problems after, or, you know, like have mental issues after the fact. Particularly the actor that did Batman, Joker in the Batman movie. So, you know, like how do you break from that?
Well,
Because it's Oh, doesn't it happen? Okay,
all I have to say to those actors is, thing as Laurence Olivier said, son, it's just acting. Okay, like don't get it twisted. You don't need to affect the rest of your life and your loved ones
Right.
because you're playing a role.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
So that's one thing. I think that sometimes when you're playing a role, yeah, I mean, depends on what the role is and how far the role is from you and how much you had to delve into it. But I find it pretty easy to, once we wrap, to get back to being Leon.
How is it working with Robert Townsend? He just seems to have his hands in a bit of everything, and an amazing eye for the best movies. I mean, and they all say something. Kind of reminds me of what's his name? The other I've just forgot his name, but with the big glasses.
Right?
Yes, they know how to tell a story,
Mm-hmm.
and it really resonates. How's it working with him?
Love working with Robert, and I hope we can do it again. We did the 5 Heartbeats together. We did a Little Richard together. Did a wonderful web series that won awards, and you should see it, called Diary of a Single Mom. It's very good. There's a lot of really good people in it, and yeah, I mean, he's a storyteller, and he's a master of what he does. I always hope and wish to see him, do the biggest of things, because I think he deserves it. I recently saw his one-man show up in the Bay Area, and he was just amazing, just telling stories of his youth. And if any of you haven't seen the documentary he did last year called "The Making of the 5 Heartbeats," you should see.
I didn't hear that. What was that?
If any of you haven't seen the documentary that he made last year, they got nominated for an Image Award called "The Making of the 5 Heartbeats."
Really? No.
Yeah, you should see it. It tells a story from him as a little child, when he came up with the idea to do the movie, and all the struggles and casting, and yeah, you should see it. It's really, really, really good.
Go ahead.
Oh, I didn't want to interrupt you.
No, you're fine. Go ahead.
Okay, so now that are you going to be if we want to see where you'll be performing anytime coming up? I'm in Vegas, and I see you do a lot. It seems like on the East Coast, or because I would love to see you do your thing at some festivals and stuff like that. I mean,
no, listen, we've played Vegas a few times, and I look forward to coming out there again. The one thing, there's two factors. One, we have a pandemic still plaguing this country, so as far as live performances are concerned, there's still there's no clear sight ahead of us that we know is going to happen. Mm-hmm. And so we don't know what festivals are even going to even take place. They just canceled Coachella for the second time, and so we don't really know. If they do book festivals and stuff, then I hope that we can book to play some of them out there. I'd love that. Yeah.
In regards to work in the acting world, it's the same situation, huh? Not being able to maybe do the same, be able to get new movies and stuff going because of the pandemic, or how are you guys able to work through that?
No, not now. We're back.
You're back. Good.
All the series are filming. Movies are being made.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Good, because I'm I can't watch this 20 times anymore. I need some new movies.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, no, there's plenty of new stuff coming. Trust me. There's a lot of COVID restrictions, but plenty of new things. Yeah, for sure.
Good.
Maybe because I'm older, I find that a lot in not just today's music, but even when I watch things on TV, they don't capture me. And it could be my age. They don't capture me. And it's kind of like the actors or the performers, they're here and then they're gone. Rather than, movies that I've watched when I was even a teenager, and actors, the stories were so different that you still follow them today. no matter what they're doing. So, do you think there's been a big change in the industry that causes that? Because you can, for like my kids, you know, I'm older, but my kids are in their 20s. They'll be like, "Oh, mom, did you hear that song?" I'm like, that song been out. You know what I'm saying? So they're even going back to, you know, a lot of the older songs and older groups that they seem to resonate with more than even current day. You know what I'm saying? And music and acting and actors, and it's like, oh, they've been in the industry and they think it's a new actor. You know what I mean? So do you think it's just such a big change that people are losing the value of real entertainment and storytelling? It's not the same.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't say that. I just say that there's so much more now that whenever there's more of anything, there's always going to be more that's not good. I mean, the reason why we give awards or give great reviews or talk about certain shows because they're better than the norm.
Right.
Right. So they rise above the norm. And so because there's so much out there, unlike before, there wasn't that much out there. You know, back in the days when, the Five Heartbeats and New Jack City and The Right Thing came out, Above the Rim, like they were like events for us. We didn't have a lot of like black movies that we were going to remember and that were going to be there and so I think it went on to Waiting to Exhale and The Best Man and movies that that really resonated with us because we didn't have that much out there. And so we clung to those stories and we loved them. And now, with so much out there, you're going to see a bunch of things that aren't really that good. They're made for just now, or they're made with, talent that you don't recognize because, they're just starting out, or they're in things that you don't watch, And so, that's just.
There's no exclusivity anymore. Everything is just out there. It's so accessible.
Yeah.
Yes, without a doubt. Too accessible to me.
Well, we definitely look forward to seeing you in a lot of other future stuff. I know I do. And there's some people that are just enjoying you on our chat line, leaving you comments that I don't know if you see those or not, but that you are just an amazing, amazing person. How we appreciate you being on our show and taking part. And
thank you. I appreciate you saying that. It's very nice of you.
Yeah.
No, we really do appreciate you. Like I said, I'm like, oh, so excited. Icon.
So before you go, because we don't want to take up too long, maybe you can give us that old Cool Runnings accent, or maybe like give us a little tune, maybe a little like something for our listeners.
Well, you know what? I would, but there's certain things that I do and don't do.
Okay.
One of the things is I don't repeat my lines.
Oh, okay.
Because you know why? I probably won't do them justice because I don't watch my movies.
Oh, okay.
I like that.
Yes, I like that too.
Yeah. Oh, but Rose, we have to show his website. Let's do some of that before we let him go. Just a little bit of that.
If you don't mind.
If you don't mind.
What would you like me to do?
We wanted to show your website off a bit and tell us a little bit more about what you're working on and how they can get a hold of you if they wanted to partner with you with anything. I don't know.
Okay, well, musically, you can always go to my band's website, which is Leon and the Peoples. That's Peoples with an S, Leon and the Peoples.net. My personal website is justleon.com, which is what they're showing you right now. Probably needs a little updating.
I'm gonna get a shirt, by the way, but I'm actually last night I was on here and I said I'm gonna get this one right here.
Okay, yeah, definitely. It comes in different colors too, so let me know. And and I'm very active on Instagram, which is www.justleon, which is www.justleon. I put 3 W's in front because someone took Just Leon and tried to make me pay for it. So I figured throw a few W's on there and keep it moving. And that's it. Yeah, Leon on Facebook, every place else. Just you can hit me any place you want. As far as what I'm doing now, I just been working. Did a movie that wound up being the #1 movie for Hallmark, a Christmas movie over the Christmas holiday, called "A Time to Come Home for Christmas." Executive produced by Blake Shelton. I just wrapped last week my work on a TV series season 2 of City on a Hill,
Okay.
which is on Showtime, which premieres March 28th. And yeah, and deciding what I'm going to do next.
Well, thank you so much, sir, Mr. Lee, and I like just Leon. Again for giving us the opportunity. And we are going to obviously see you again on the widescreen, small screen, because you're amazing. As always, not because you're here, because I just think you are. I know you are, and our guests are going to love.
Amazing actor.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much. We'll let you go enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you for being part of our show.
Keep doing what you're doing, and keep it positive, right? And stay safe, okay?
Thanks. Bye.
All right.
Bye.
So what did you think about that interview? You guys love it?
He's such a chill person. He's just like laid back. Just
loved it. It's like, oh my gosh. We are so happy that you guys tuned in. And for everybody who is listening, wherever you are, thank you. Please, subscribe.
Yes,
Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Make sure you follow us on social media. Go to our page, the entrepreneurlife.show, entrepreneurlife.show, to find us wherever we are on all of the different podcast platforms. We have some really other great guests coming up. We're really booked, and we're still looking for other great guests to share with you guys, right, Shamar? Just like
yes, guys. If you are interested in being a part of our show and you have something to say, something to offer our audience, we would love to have you be a part of our show. We also are going to start doing at the end of our show some quick tips. I know that we focused a lot on sharing the stories of or careers of people that we bring on the show, but we also want to give you guys some tidbits about a little bit about what we do. I mean, as you guys know, Rose does accounting and I do HR, but we also want to share some knowledge towards the end of the show so that you guys can take that away and use it in the future. So on our next show, we'll have a little bit of quick tips at the end, and hopefully that is helpful for you and your business.
Yeah. So subscribe, Entrepreneur Life Not Show, on our YouTube channel. If you need to find out where we are, just go to our page, entrepreneurlife.show, and you will find all the podcast platforms we are on, our YouTube channel. You will see all the other great guests we've had on, Shantae Moore, Darren Henson, oh gosh,
Robert Richard.
He took off his shirt for you ladies. Like,
I know, you have to go back and watch that, because I think everybody was drooling when that shirt came off.
A lot of great interviews, as well as some really great businesses, entrepreneurs on there that's going to share a lot of information with you. So make sure, don't miss out, subscribe, be a great follower, and we will see you on our next show. Check out our calendar.
Thank you guys. Bye.